How we doing, guys? CrownTheEric here, and welcome to another edition of Breaking Down Marvel Civil War number 2. And we're on issue number 2. And as you can see, I'm still carrying on with my theme of keeping the connected covers alive. And this one's pretty cool. We got Iron Man battling Captain Marvel. There's a Hulkbuster armor in the background and Punisher. So that's pretty cool. So let's break this down. We're on issue number 2, and as you saw, if you haven't seen me break down issue number 1, there will be a link above me in my head, right around here somewhere. There'll be, hey, go check out number 1. So if you haven't seen my first video of issue number 1 breakdown, then go right ahead. So we're going to start it off with the breakdown right now. I'm going to go through. We got Iron Man, he's flying right in. He flies right to New Attilan. Right down to New Attilan. And he is just looking. And he is just looking for revenge. And he's going to go get Ulysses. And he's going to be like, what the hell? And he's sitting there as he's flying. He's getting thoughts of him and Rhodey. And just not having a good flight. And all that. And he gets in there. And he gets in Ulysses' room. And he's like, alright, I'm going to take him. And then Medusa's right there in the shadows, and she's just like, no, you're not going to take him. I'm going to make this very clear. If you do this, it's an act of aggression towards us. And he is a subject of my kingdom. And yada, yada, yada. Typical Medusa kingdom stuff from the Inhumans. And Tony's like, oh, hell no, I'm going to do it. And all of a sudden he's like, his AI is like, hull breach. And he's like, hull breach, what's going on? And we got Medusa pretty much wrapping him up right there with her hair, which is, what her long hair is for. And all of a sudden, you think like, oh man, Tony Stark's really in danger, but he's really not. No. He electrifies her hair and everything, which will stun her and zap her right down. So then, she goes flying out of the room, and then Karnak's right there. He's like, what the hell's going on? And then Tony Stark's like, Karnak, I thought about you. And Karnak's like, Stark, I'm gonna punch you in the face, oh my god. And they're like, no, Karnak, don't do it, no. And everything. And, Karnak has the ability to detect the structural weaknesses and all that. And Iron Man and Tony Stark is like, nah, I've prepared for you. And just blows them away with the armor, and Karnak's down for the count. And then Lightning Crystal is just like, you son of a bitch. And she goes to the suit and everything and electrocutes him and all that. And which isn't good, because really she just superpowered a complete and utter decoy with the explosion right there. And just exploded a decoy armor that was in stealth mode. And Beast has got Medusa in her hand, which is still weird to me that Beast is part of the Inhumans, odd as that is. And, Medusa's like, she's like, she's all, and Beast is like, it was a remote control decoy. He goes, it was one of his signature tricks. And the real Tony Stark has taken, they're like, oh man, Beast is like, the real Tony Stark has actually taken Ulysses and all that. And Lightning Crystal's like, well, why didn't you help us fight why didn't you, she's like, why didn't you help him fight Henry? And everything, what's up, Beast? Why didn't you let him fight? And he's like, I don't fight Tony Stark. And then they go, and there's just, they go to the Triskelion, and they flash to the Triskelion, and Medusa is over, like, Black Panther's like, oh my god, hey, Tony Stark just made war against Medusa, trying to capture Ulysses, and all that. And she's like, oh my god, what the hell? And then you have Karnak. They show on the next page Karnak yelling at Tony Stark's AI because they're at the Stark building, and he's gonna break it down. And then Captain Marvel shows up right here saying, hey, just let us take care of Tony Stark and everything. This is, we got it. You don't need to do this. And she's like, we've all lost people today. Let's not lose any more. Let us just handle it. And Medusa's just like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll let you handle it. Which, if you remember, Medusa and Captain Marvel, they're all part of the A-Force, too, as well. The Avenger Force, the all-female Avenger team. So then we flash over, and Tony Stark's like got Ulysses all held up and all captured, and he's kind of like semi-torturing him, and he's like, Ulysses is like, what did I do? And Tony Stark's like, he was my best friend. He goes, I'm very sorry. And Tony Stark's like, yeah, you're really sorry for killing my best friend. Ha ha ha. So then he has Ulysses all like, got like little things on his head. And Ulysses is like, what the heck are you doing? And Tony Stark's, how does it work? Tell me how your powers work, and everything. And he's like, what? He goes, he's like, Ulysses is like, I just don't make them up and everything. Like, they just happen. And Tony Stark fucks him in the side of the head and everything. And then he gets like some brave wave and all that. And he's like, oh man. He goes, what did you do? He's like, why did you do that? Brainwave. And he goes, brainwave entertainment. I wanted to see how outside stimulus affected your brain. And next time, he goes, next time I'm going to tickle you. And then Stark's like, next time I'm going to tickle you. And all that. And they're like, oh man, AI is like, oh, we need a little more data and everything. And Tony Stark goes, winds up to punch him. He's like, oh, please. And Lucy's like, no, don't hit me. He's like, don't worry, fear worked. And all that. And then he goes, the AI goes, a surge in alpha brain wave activity that is not in the normal registered. And this is like, what do you want and everything and all this. And then they're talking and Stark's like, who are your parents? What's going on? Da 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 da. He's just trying to like sit there and see if if his his preferences of like race and color and sexual and all that preferences affect his visions. And then all of a sudden we have the almighty Inhumans and Avengers show up, and they're like, oh man. Tony Stark's like, hey, I didn't really do anything. He's like, what's about to happen? It's about to happen to me. He's like, now act like you're having fun and everything. Act like I didn't just torture you and everything. Then a big iron goes through, like a big hammer goes through, and then they all bust it through right there and everything. And they're just like, what are you doing? Are you torturing the guy? And is everyone up to date on the subtext of this puppy? And they're just trying to figure out, hey, what's going on and everything. And actually, we'll skip back to one little thing and all that. This just makes me laugh. It's, you see a picture of like Hank McCoy right there in the front, right? And Stark's like, Hank McCoy, damn, I keep forgetting he's with the Inhumans now. And then in parentheses goes, because that's just weird. Which to me is just weird too. So then, we get like I said, we have them kind of going, hey, Stark, you got to give up the boy, we got to take you in, you're just kind of losing it, you're reacting awkwardly. And as they're having like, he's like, Stark, Captain Marvel's like, Stark having a complete nervous breakdown. And then right here, you start to see that Ulysses is starting to have his visions. His eyes go black, and his iris goes red, and he's like, ah. And then this is the image that he puts in everybody's head, right there. The Hulk, not the totally awesome Hulk, but the incredible Bruce Banner Hulk, with all the Avengers underneath him, with Iron Man in his hand, with Captain Marvel in the other hand. He's got them both in hands. He's just enraged. And they're all like, oh my god, did you feel that? Like, I felt that. And someone's like, man, I tasted that. And Ulysses is like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The Hulk is going to kill us all. Or he's going to kill you all. And then we get to the last page of the comic book, and it says, just outside Alpine, Utah. And then there's Dr. Banner and Captain Marvel going, then Captain Marvel saying Dr. Banner, and Dr. Banner going, oh, Colonel Danvers, what a pleasant surprise, what can I do for you? And it says, to be continued. And then we get a preview of the next third issue cover, art, and it's Hulk just smashing apart Iron Man. So, I'm very intrigued to see where this is going to go. I'm wondering how Carol Danvers is going to really piss off the Hulk and everything, assuming she already pissed off Tony Stark and got two people one killed and one probably still critical condition and all that. And I wonder what's really going to set the Hulk off and why the Hulk wants to kill all of them. So stay tuned to my next video when issue number 3 comes out, and we break down issue number 3. I'm really happy. I like where this is going. I think it's a wonderful arc. I think it's way better than Civil War 1, the very first Civil War. So stand by for the next time we break it down. And the next comic book I'm actually going to break down that I bought is actually a tie-off. It's the X-Men Civil War 2. And as you know, the X-Men weren't part of the first Civil War. They had their own agenda with them being extinct. So I'm going to break that down. Stand by for that video. And I'll see you next time with another breakdown of Civil War 2. And we're going to break it down when issue number 3 comes out. I'm out of here. Subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up. Comment down below what you like. I'm out of here. Peace. And then October still.